Good morning, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this fine Wednesday morning. It's the hump of the week. We're at the halfway point, almost to the weekend. Who's worried about the weekend anymore? There's football every day of the week. The World Cup starts tomorrow evening. You're looking forward to the World Cup. Talking about the World Cup and talking about Scotland players, talking about the mainstream media. They just will not they just will not give it up, will they? When Celtic fans say that they just can't get enough, the mainstream media just won't let it go. Going to let you listen to. You probably have seen this interview. If not, I'm not going to show you because it's got mainstream media advertising on it. But I will let you listen to it. I'll just check that the volumes are all fine first of all. Make sure the volumes are right up. And it's Craig Gordon, and we've had the meltdown from Chris Boyd over the last couple of days, saying that Celtic fans, who does Celtic fans think they are? Celtic fans, and he's making stuff up, Chris Boyd again. Celtic fans protesting outside Celtic Park to make sure that Robbie Keane didn't get the job. Go and show us the pictures of the protests outside the ground, right? Thousands of fans, hundreds of fans even, outside the ground protesting. Made up, doesn't it? When it gets to the Scotland game, the World Cup, you would think that the Scotland manager has a hard enough job trying to make sure that the players' minds are focused. We're at a World Cup. But the BBC, in their wisdom, send over a dodgy Irishman to interview a Scotsman. And it didn't go too well.
They had a number of high-profile refereeing controversies towards the end of the league season. Does that stuff stay with you? Have you got over it? Will you ever get over it?
Wait a minute here.
I don't think you ever will. But yeah, it's time to look to World Cup now. Yeah, those things will remain in the past. There's nothing anybody can do about it now.
Wait a minute here. Are the BBC asking a cheat about cheating? Dubious decisions. You've got to remember, I've got a lot of respect for Craig Gordon, but he did cheat on his wife when he was at Celtic. We know this. He cheated on his wife and he ran away with Celtic TV woman. The irony is completely lost. The irony is completely lost on Tom English asking a man who cheated on his wife about dubious decisions when it comes to VAR and kind of pointing in the way of, was it cheating? It is unbelievable.
The feelings that everybody has are their own feelings, and yeah, I'll have them forever. Yes.
So will your ex-wife, mate. She'll have those bad memories forever for when you cheated on her with Celtic TV woman. The whole situation has now absolutely embarrassing from the mainstream media. And this is it's, I'm not going to tell you the publication, but Tom English is he has, yeah, Succulent Lamb was his thing. And the best thing is about it is that they're still crying. But I have no respect. Oh, wait a minute. There has been a donation. There has been a donation sent to Africa from Hearts. Do you know what? If they want to give it out, we can give it just as good. But anyway, that is enough of Tom English and the home wrecker that is Craig Gordon. I found it absolutely astonishing that Tom English went down that road. Don't know. Anyway, it's moving on. Time from that. It's just getting ridiculous now. Even those these imbeciles a platform to whine. The thing is that social media, it's a level playing field for us, don't know, but social media now, unfortunately, has been infiltrated by the mainstream media. And whether they like it or not, it's going to remain that because of how many people watch TV, how many people watch YouTube on TV now. You know, the transformation has begun, and they need to stay relevant. Let's just keep that out there. The only reason that these media, mainstream media platforms are coming onto social media is to stay relevant. That is it. Anyway, let's talk about the World Cup because stay on the World Cup for a minute or so. Within the last 48 hours, Swiss footballer visa put under review to join his teammates days later. Iraq national team player questioned for 7 hours upon entering the United States. Iranian national team spent days dealing with visa procedures. USA consulate in Turkey. The US only allowed them entry in match days. A referee not allowed into the World Cup despite travelling on a diplomatic passport. An embassy passport. He was still not allowed in. South African national team delegation were not granted visas. Senegal national team forced to remove their shoes, subject to searches and racism that can only be put down as disgusting. Uzbekistan national team were searched with bomb-sniffing dogs. Unbelievable. Scottish supporters unable to get into the USA, even though they had been in the USA a couple of months before. People buying tickets, booking accommodation. And I've said right from the start, anybody that wanted to go to America for this World Cup, you're off your head. You're off your head. I wouldn't give them. I mean, I know we got a lot of subscribers on the channel from America, but they should never get the World Cup. They don't even like football. And some of the outrage that I'm seeing from the Americans, some of the so-called sarcasm about whining whining Europeans and whining other people because they're coming into America and they have killed. They are single-handedly killing the World Cup. America likes to kill everything that sets its foot on it. Anyway, but this not that one. We better get the right screen. Um, Jesus Christ, we're doing everything wrong this morning. And there's a nice picture that I saw. It's America bombed the shit out of the World Cup trophy. It's a sad picture, that. It is a sad picture because football is the one thing on the planet that brings people together. It's the one thing that brings everyone together in joy. Sometimes it brings them together in violence. If you're England and Germany in 1988, per se. And it's a shame that it's been ruined. And I just personally, I hope that we're watching games over the World Cup in half-empty stadiums, because that's all that that's all that America deserves when it comes to the World Cup. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that picture because it's quite yeah, could bring a tear to a glass eye, as they say. Right, I'm going to jump over to Instagram because Rio Hatate, the man that wants away from Celtic. This will be interesting. If we have anyone in Japan, can they go to this so they can hear what Rio Hatate has to say for himself? Yes, there is an evening with the Rio Hatate talk show. I wonder if he'll talk more than he did to his Celtic teammates. Because part of the issue with Rio Hatate is that, he never really spoke to his teammates. But anyway, he is doing an event on the 22nd of the 6th, 7 till 7:30. We're going Dyson Maeda. He's what is Dyson doing? He's at the World Cup, isn't he? He is at the World Cup. Who else have we got? Just Celtic with their little bit. Alistair Johnston looking suave as ever. Looking just yep, looking like Alistair Johnston, TV guy. It looks like a doctor's bag Johnson's got, isn't it? Casper Schmeichel on Fox News. Julian Araujo. Oh, it's an interesting one with Julian Araujo because he has changed his Instagram back to Bournemouth from Celtic. It's obviously because he's a Bournemouth player, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Julian Araujo, considering if Alistair Johnston has a fine World Cup, he could be one player that could leave in the summer. Let's just check out Julian Araujo's Instagram. So yeah, he's one player. If we do sell Alistair Johnston, we need to just go all in and get Julian Araujo. If there's one person that could fill the space from when was this picture taken? Oh, that's a pinned picture. That's when he joined. Oh wait a minute. 17 weeks ago. Getting us all worried there, Julian. That's his latest one, isn't it? South Americans do love a bit of bad clobber. Anyway, that is Julian Araujo under a pink umbrella. Mind you, if I had the haircut like that, I'd be under a pink umbrella. There we go. He's bad clobber, as they're going to say. Anyway, move on from Julian Araujo, and we'll go back the way, and let's go back. Sebastian Tenecti, Hatate, Johnny Kenny. Celtic said happy birthday to Johnny Kenny on stories only. They didn't post it on any page. They sneaked it in on one of their stories. They've obviously gotten away from the birthday card pish, as fans like to call it. Paulo Bernardo on holiday. Fine figure of a man, eating healthy. Yes, that's a rather. It's a floating breakfast. His breakfast is floating on the water, and yeah, it's all rather healthy stuff, isn't it? Yeah, looks good. Nice little bit. Oh, he's at a spa, him and his missus. Nice white. He's in the Seychelles, in case you were interested. And there's him with his wee woman. His wee woman. She'll be like, can we go back to Portugal this summer? And then Bruni, who is now, I think he's in Crete, with his. Is he got music? Yeah, Bruni and his chavvy music, and yeah, that is pretty much the update for their players' social media, and I don't know what that is. John Paul Gaultier, why is that getting advertised on my timeline? Anyway, let's move on from that this morning. Let's jump into the comments. Surely these questions are causing a divide in the Scotland camp as well. Well, you would think so, wouldn't it? I mean, you would think that the Scotland manager who's wanting to bring everyone together, all the players together and get them focused, shouldn't the Scotland manager be going out to the media and say, right, look, listen, guys, I know that you're shit stirring bampots. And that's the way that I would speak to them. We know that you're just shit stirring bampots. Let's keep it on World Cup here. I'm trying to keep the guys motivated. Don't know. I'm trying to. We've got 3 goalkeepers, and none of them are first choice goalkeeper. So I'm trying to keep them on edge and try to get them. Don't know. One of them's going to have to be my goalkeeper during this World Cup. And the first question by Tom English is, so how do you feel about last season and the sort of cheating that went on and dubious decisions? To a man that cheated on his wife and ran away with his fancy bit. irony, just completely lost. Anyway, Celtic, it's claimed that Celtic have got a war, don't say it, a war chest. Why do the Scottish media have to come out with this bollock ache bullshit nonsense that the club has a war chest? Why don't just call it a transfer kitty like every other club? Do you see Manchester United and Chelsea going, we've got a 350 million war chest? No, they don't, do they? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Share prices. I've had a look at the share prices this morning again. Are your comments on the share prices yesterday? Today's accumulation ongoing, hence why the share price is going up. So it might be related. So it might be related to hockey or David Lowe's buying. Interesting. That takes me on to the share price part. Glad you mentioned that because there was quite a lot of shares this morning. I'll put it on the screen. Thank you for talking about that, Mickey. Keeping us on track. The share price today again has taken a little bit of a jump. Let me just move this over here. And it's another all-time high, 253. Although there was shares sold yesterday for 256, but right now it's in at 253 pence. And the most important bit, yeah, there's still no statement. The last statement was the 15th of the 4th. But share volume yesterday, 53, 26, 54. See if there was any big ones yet. Oh, yes, there was. Yes, the 9th. Now, there's definitely a trend here that I'm starting to see. And I'd like to know who's behind it. 2,000 and 1,000. They're these regular amounts that are being sold. That was on the 9th. We go back to last week. We see it again. 2,000 again. 2,000 again. There's not. It just seems weird to me that there are so many individuals sitting with 2,000 shares that are selling them. That's someone that's, rather than sell a big bulk of shares, that's them breaking it down so not to create a tension, because it goes on 1400, 1700, 700, 1400, 7700, and then 1200, and then there was the big ones, 49,000. There's on the 4th, just under £1 million, 879 grand's worth of shares. And some people said that you can't just go into the open market and buy £10 million worth of shares, 250,000 shares, another 600 grand worth of shares, another 250 grand's worth of shares. Grand's worth, another 50,000 shares at 120 grand. Jeez. Something's going on, isn't there? And it's definitely having the effect that it is pushing the share price up to a 5-year high, as you can see. It goes way down. Anyway, thank you for reminding me of that this morning. Just a morning update, checking the share price. A big shout out to Mikey for that. It's been proven that Celtic did not cheat. They did not get any dodgy decisions. They won't get. Yes, it just keeps going on, doesn't it? It just proves that they're all yes. How did Brendan get a ban for speaking about McInnes? And he gets away with saying, yeah, I think that when the season starts, will that be brought up? This World Cup has been ruined by that orange idiot and his government. FIFA should take charge and tell the US officials to off. They can't do that, sadly. But I think that there's been over the years, there's when you are gifted the opportunity to host the World Cup, I think that there is a. I mean, obviously, back in the old days, there was probably spies and stuff, put in beside teams, etc. Um, in the Cold War era, but generally, the players were allowed access into the country. Referees were allowed access into the country. They weren't put through these terrible, degrading, as if you've been caught carrying 25 kilos of cocaine into the country. Still hilarious that we won the league and cup in the space of a week after that season. Best bit was it was sour grapes. You could make wine from it. You could taste it would taste better than Buckfast. Yes, it's the media will dig out a story. Yeah, they will. But as I saved thousands last year. So we will, and then Trump started with his Greenland, and I called it there and then. Everything after that proved me right. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that it was the cost for us, and there's no way it was a pain. I mean, I don't care that it's been 28 years since Scotland have been at the World Cup. I never thought we would have to wait so long. Having grown up watching World Cups as a kid, don't know, you kind of, we were spoiled during the 70s and 80s and into the early 90s. And you never thought that Scotland would go so long and being so rubbish. But it is what it is. But I definitely wouldn't go there. Such an arrogant country about everything. They've killed it as soon as they made it 48 teams over 5.5 weeks. The tournament, it's a rather long time, especially for players that were playing in Europe that will. There's players that are not going to get much of a break, but that's it. Who would have thought that it was going to go? And then it was America, pure greed from FIFA. Gutted Republic Ireland are not there. Not interested in the World Cup. I'm never usually interested in the World Cup because Scotland haven't been there for so long. But this year I'm going to watch some games because it was at the last World Cup that Alistair Johnson became of prominent to the Celtic fans. So when it came out that Celtic were looking at Alistair Johnson, everybody started watching the Canada games. So hopefully we might see some potential future Celtic players. But then again, it's Celtic. They'll be raiding the basement bucket. They'll be looking at the list and there's the list of every player that's at the World Cup, and Celtic will go, nah. Let's go. Where's the other list of players that aren't at the World Cup? Oh, okay, that's filed under shite. Raphael, shite. Some Scotland fans have been denied entry. They should tell the USA to stuff the World Cup. Yeah, I'm not watching the World Cup. £300 for car parking. Highest ticket price is it's 2.2 now. The price is. I know a YouTuber that's went over. He's heading over today, I think it is, and but he doesn't have tickets for it. He told me he was going months ago. He thought they were going to go over and just and revel in the atmosphere. Bugger that, because he was like, I'm not paying that for tickets unless we can get some dodgy ones, some of those printed ones, some of those fake ones, and they'll just go up to it and go, "Here's my ticket, pal." That's anyway. Most people will not be staying up for these games. You're not kidding. I watch the knockout games and select the group games I watch. Yeah, me too. If Scotland win the World Cup, it will be tainted. Well, it will be tainted if you've got a cheat in goals. It would just be like Scotland to win the World Cup with someone that cheated on his wife in goals. Such an American thing, wouldn't it? He would be hailed as a hero. Aye, aye, aye. I ain't staying up to watch Cape Verde Uzbekistan at 5 a.m. No, neither am I. Why let the USA host a World Cup? I have no idea. They shouldn't have done it in the 1990s. I stopped watching the World Cup then, and don't know, wasn't as bad as '94. 1 a.m. was the latest kickoff. No exciting news, I suppose. Well, there's nothing really. Right before the World Cup, a lot of channels are sort of taking breaks and stuff, and talk about transfer kitties. Martin O'Neill getting 40 million transfer kitty. Some are saying war chest. If you see that as a war chest, there's something wrong with you because it's peanuts. I think a lot of us called that Celtic would need to spend 40 million anyway in this. So for me, it's not new news. I mean, you could talk about it. We could talk about the fact that people are expecting Alistair Johnston to have a fantastic World Cup. Will they line up Julian Araujo? It's all these crazy things. As who's looking at signing at our club? No idea. Is there any sign of a manager? The club's still a shambles. They ain't signed anyone, just loans. Can't see Tunisia scoring a goal. You won't let it go either, Baz. Well, you've got to keep these media people in check, you know. So we've got to keep the fact that they're in meltdown, mate. You know, this it's the continuation of them. We're at the 10th of June, and they're still in meltdown. It's phenomenal. Do you know if Hearts had won the league, would they still be talking about it? More than likely. Anyway, they never talk about Hearts dropping so many points. No, they didn't. That I'm going to jump to the end of the comments. Apologise because we're getting close to the half-hour mark. It sounded like his wife wasn't a keeper. She was, by the way. She was. He was just a dirty cheating scumbag. What the fuck, Celtic? What's going on? Tell us, for goodness sakes. Yes, don't forget Uruguay. Celtic are taking a break. Are they? The business just stops. There's nobody in the building. You go up, you go, hello, I'm in. If I was home, I'd go up to Celtic Park. Camera and all. It's happening. Right. Yes, I'm here to ask on the behalf of the Celtic fans, what's happening? Is there anything, any newsworthy you want to tell us? Baz, go away. You're not getting in. Here comes Baz. He's walking up Celtic Way. Put the lights out. Shut the curtains. Put the lights out. See all the curtains shutting. Fucking blinds gone down. Guy locking the front door. Nobody's in. Bugger off. 40 million won't touch the problems in this squad. No, it won't. I was over in the States last month. They're looking forward to the World Cup. Well, bar owners are in Philadelphia hosting 9 games. The ticket prices are just made for the super rich. FIFA needs investigating. They do that. Can't wait till Flag Day. Meltdown incoming again. Celtic held a video call yesterday with Elias Phillott, a striker. Well, let's hope that they did. It's good to know that they're holding video calls with someone. And who's making the final decision on picking the players? Is it Martin O'Neill? Is there anybody out there? Let's Celtic start the party! Let's talk about Celtic. We're talking about Celtic, mate. Anyway, is anybody at home? That's it. That's the way that would be. 30 people in a local team have been on a break since January. 30 people in the social team have been on a break since January. They have done that. Anyway, right, that is us at the 28th minute. Leaving for New York. Leaving tomorrow for New York, then off to Boston. Yeah, there we go. Let us know how you get on and how and if you have any issues getting into America. When you go, will you send back all the Scottish from America? Because you're not getting in. Anyway, heading from New Zealand. That's even better then. It's a nice fine part of the world. That's a journey and a half. How many products are they going to sell before the manager? Celtic have turned into QVC. That's the killer comment that finishes the programme this morning. Big thank you to everyone who has been on this morning. It's a little bit quieter because there's not a lot happening, so not a lot of people are tuning in. People are on holiday and stuff. Anyway, I shall see you all 6 p.m. Celtic Park time tonight, when hopefully we'll find out maybe something more. And the guy reporting it was the first on Balak Wisher. Well, we looked at Balak Wisher for 2 years, and that didn't end well, did it? Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.